Hey guys, today at Classic ATS we're going to be doing a coolant change on a 2001 Boxster S. So we've got the cars up in the air on our rack, and one of the reasons why we are going to be changing our coolant is so we can change our hoses. We've got some leaks. You can see here where coolant's coming out of the pipes. These are on the front feeders that feed off to each radiator. We've got all of our covers off, and I've loosened the drain that started to drip right here, but we're going to go and unscrew that, get it draining into a 5-gallon bucket. Then we also have a couple of other issues where the hose right here in this housing is all pretty corroded. So this is a 20-year-old car, and it's time to change the hoses, flush the cooling system, get it back on the road. Okay, so we've got our cooling system all drained. I've taken off the hoses right here, our heater hoses. We're going to replace those. I've pulled off our thermostat housing. The old one was pretty crusty, which you could see on the before video where it was all growing out of there. And it was not a bad time to replace the thermostat at the same time. Cleaning up all of these with a little bit of Scotch-Brite, and going to start putting the new hoses on back here. Then I'll move up front and do the same. So I'm working at taking out the inner fender so I can get to the radiator. We've got coolant lines that come up from our pipes through the tunnel and into our radiator behind this panel, and we've got another one on the other side. So it's a big job. You've got to allow plenty of time to do this, but definitely in need of replacing all the hoses. So I finished changing out our front coolant hoses. I have to end up pulling the radiators out completely, mainly because of the amount of debris that I found once I got in there. But I've got all of that closed up. We're waiting on a couple of hoses at the back, and then it'll be time to fill the cooling system and run through and bleed it. So I've changed all of the hoses, and to fill the cooling system, I've already pulled off both of these caps. This is our oil cap in our cooling system, and there's a plastic tray that sits here. And the reason why I pulled that off is over here is a valve, and to fill the cooling system we want to lift that valve up like that, and this allows air to flow out of the system as we're filling. So I filled up the entire system. I've already run the car and bled it through. I've got it up to operating temperature. I made sure that the fans in the front cycled on, then cycled off again. And then once I was ready, once everything was complete, I topped it up, closed the valve, put the cap back on, and I let it sit overnight. So I've come in here first thing in the morning, and my coolant level had settled, and it was right down around here, which is good. It means all the air is out of the system. So I've just brought it up to the fill line, and now I'm ready to put our plastic piece back in, put our seal back on, and ready to road test the car. I did go ahead and pull that one bolt out of there. Just makes it a little bit easier to get this little plastic protector out. Put the plastic nut back on. Then you got to make sure you're careful when you put the cap on. These are really easy to cross thread. So cooling system maintenance on these cars, now they're getting up to 20 years old, is something that you've really got to look seriously at. I mean, these hoses here, you can see all the leakage that was happening. This is a thermostat hose, and these are all still Porsche part numbered hoses. You can see the date code on them is February of 2001, so they've been in there for 20 years. All in all, not super horrible, but definitely time to change on each ones. To get these things off, I just cut them off. It's a safer bet than trying to twist them. A lot of the times they're just stuck on there really well. Same with radiator caps. Radiator caps are a valved cap, so there is a spring and a valve in there that does wear. It is good to change these whenever you do any major cooling system work. When it comes to refilling, the spec on this is a G40 antifreeze. It's a 50-50 ratio. So the way I refilled it was I put in 2 gallons of antifreeze concentrate and then 2 gallons of distilled water. Then to do the final top up, because this whole system takes about 5 gallons, is I just took one of my empty containers, filled it half with fresh concentrate, and then topped it off with distilled water, marked it 50-50 so I know, and just topped off the system with that. And then I leave this in the shop, so whenever I have to service a car and I'm doing a quick top up, I know I'm topping it up with the right stuff. So that's it for our cooling system flush and hose change. I want to say thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to see more.